Peace, family. Peace to you and yours. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Know the Ledge TV. Okay, I'm waiting on my co-host to fall through, as well as our guests. In the meantime, in between time, I guess I'll play some warm-up music. All right. Get this thing situated. All right, family. Welcome back. I hope everything is cooking curry with the family tonight on this Tuesday evening. Okay. Hold on, let me see something. Let me find you some music real quick. Hold you over.
I know the ledge, I know the ledge, I know the ledge. Pray to me before I go to bed. Follow what the omen said. Manifest everything I wrote in red. Born not over till your opposers dead. Cry blood, turn the ocean red. I never knew I was a king. Bleed, blood red cause I read. Listen close when the deaf man sings. Sounds like the planet with the rings. The blacker the berry, the more they gon' steal the juice. Around my neck, I still feel the noose. You see a gang, I see a brilliant troop. With no men to show them where to shoot. When the women do, they call it Cheryl Swoops. Same color as the soil that conceals the roots. Water, grow, bloom, reveal the fruit. The Messiah will appear in youth. The liar's nervous when he hears the truth. Here's the proof. I build my pyramid top down. What's the future if it's not now? I just heard a nigga shot a cop down. Calling for how the cop shot my pops down. What's a king if he's not brown? Anything I put on my head is considered my crown. But my nature's like a nature's. I mow the grass so it ain't yours. Death relates more to escape doors. Nothing's more great than a great more. I know the ledge. I know the ledge. I know the ledge. I pray to me before I go to bed. Follow what the omen said. Manifest everything I wrote in red. The war not over till your opposers dead. Cry blood, turn the ocean red.
The beast is in beast mode. The streets is on street code. The priest is in street clothes. My war is open here. You niggas hope and stare into pale blue skies, into pale blue eyes, on the pale white horses and them pale white Porsches. Y'all asking for peace, we asking for whole. We've asking the soul, we've asking the gold. We master the soul.
I don't know if that's the version I'm supposed to be playing. Nonetheless, family, welcome back to another episode of Know the Ledge TV. Waiting on my co-host. Should be here any second. Waiting on my guests as well. All right, they should be falling through. Get yourselves comfortable. Okay, we're going to chop it up tonight. Have a pertinent discussion about what's the latest and the greatest in the realm or the world of cryptocurrency. You know, a lot has transpired since we last were here, since we last had this conversation. So we just want to get you up to speed, get our brother Michael Singleton in here, give you some expert advice, answer some questions, you know, and just see where we're taking this thing, see what's going on, also see what's on your mind. You know, definitely get some questions from the audience. All right. So make yourselves comfortable. You dig? Shout out to our brother Cambada, brother Rich. He just put out a dynamic project sometime before the night transpires, before this live feed is down. I look forward to playing something off that album. You know, that album was dynamic. They got a lot of heat coming off of that album. So I don't know if our audience is familiar, you know, with what's going on over there with the brothers, the good brothers. But they dropped a project called The Holy Ghost. You know, 2017, hip hop's 44th year has shaped up to be a very memorable year for music, you know, in all genres. You know what I'm saying? Not only traditional 808 boom bap hip hop, but there's been a lot. There's been a lot that has come by way of shit. Even, you know, even trap music has its good entries. Mumble rap got some of the best mumble rap for this year. You know, it's a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't think Eminem's album is gonna do too good though. Wasn't a good year for him. But nonetheless, you feel me? Hip hop is had a wonderful year. There's some wonderful projects out. There's been some wonderful moments in hip hop, not only just with albums, but you know, that 10-minute freestyle by Black Thought the other night on Funk Flex. You know, the Hoodies, the two brothers, you know what I'm saying? Their freestyle explosion on Funk Flex. For people that's into that hardcore, gritty New York hip hop sound, reminiscent of Ray Ghost, you got Conway and West Side Gun. You know what I'm saying? You got Benny, all of them dudes. Shit, I even heard some tracks from Young Pharaoh earlier today that I was definitely feeling. You know what I'm saying? Let me add my co-host in here. Let's see if he want to chop it up about what it is hip hop has meant to him in his 44th year. Some of the highlights that he might want to touch on before we get into the veggie meat of the discussion. So yeah.
Go get that little pump.
Yeah, that little pause. I
Go
can't
get
even say that without.
Got the blicky. Nah, that joint of Lucas is retardo. Shout out to Cambada, retardo.
Join the Lucas has look, because many haven't, like, I haven't really heard it mentioned in the conversation at all. But Hopson.
Yeah, what about him?
Silly. He put an album out.
Oh, word?
Put an album out like a month ago. It was one of those days when a lot of music came out. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the brother. He's very talented.
Brother, very talented. He put an album out. It was crazy.
Did you hear Eminem Project?
I did not. I read reviews on it and I stayed far away from it. I really don't want to do that to my consciousness. I'm not an Eminem fan, so I just want to be forthright with that. I don't want to cast any illusion on people. And I don't consider it, you know, I'm not hating on the dude. I've never really been
your preference. Yeah.
Not my preference. I understood what they was doing. Just because somebody's talented doesn't mean I'm drawn in. And I can say that about initially, you know, when he was quote unquote hot. You know, I kind of understood what was pulling people in, but now we know that was the drugs talking. You know what I'm saying? Now we know that was the drugs talking.
Can we attribute this rise in, you know, the overindulgence in prescription pills and other mind-altering pharmacopoeia to the whole Eminem wave, or do we attribute it to Lil Wayne? I don't think that conversation has been had as of yet.
I think that, you know, both of them had a collective hand to play. You know what I'm saying? These children are kind of young. So to say that they grew up on Eminem, I don't think that would be an accurate assessment. They probably grew up in a household listening to Eminem by way of their parents. You know what I'm saying?
So Weezy would be more understandable.
Yeah, Wayne might be more of a direct influence, but then we could say Eminem might have influenced Wayne. You know what I'm saying? When any artist, just like any athlete, when they exhibit the edge, let's call it the edge.
Let's say the flow state.
when they exhibit
Give
the
me
flow.
that edge.
What athletes is called the flow. You know what I'm saying? The flow is when you blank out. You're in Michael Jordan is space. You know what I'm saying? You go from great to relentless. You know what I'm saying? You're better than a legend. You're an icon at this particular point. You know, there's no chartable, discernible way to explain your talent. You're off the charts. Okay?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan-esque. You feel me?
Yeah,
Didn't
Kobe-esque.
No, Kobe didn't get there. LeBron didn't get there.
You
Michael
trying to
Jordan
say
is in a class by itself. Hold on. When you're Michael Jordan-esque, you're in your flow. It's different.
okay?
When artists are on fire, you know what I'm saying? And they have that edge where, you know, they just hitting everything. You know what I'm saying? Ballpoint shots, money ball, all that.
The ad-libs is fire. Everything's going.
Everything's hitting. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop is a trifecta sport, you know? And Eminem was kind of the first one to exemplify the tangible trifecta aspects. He had an Oscar, Grammy, #1 albums. You feel me? So he had the acting, the rapping, he had the numbers to show, right? #1 album on the planet.
Yeah.
Also, he had all the accolades.
Facts.
So another artist is always looking to say, damn, what's attributed to that edge? How can I get that edge? You feel me? When I was looking at the John Coltrane documentary, they said that his drug use attributed to people slamming dope. You feel me? Because they was like, yo, is this the secret to the edge? Do I gotta slam dope like Coltrane is slamming dope? So artists will follow after another artist to find out how do you get in that zone? How do you get that edge? You dig what I'm saying?
Facts. So if an artist who was wigging out, like a Kendrick, was like, yo, I'm off that sea moss. If he had the muddy cup with the moss in it,
if he had the muddy cup, if you had the muddy cup, I'm supposed to have my sea moss over here. If you had the muddy cup with the moss, you dig what I'm saying? Then moss would be the trend amongst rappers. You would see them in the studio. They would have double stack cups with the 7 Heaven label on it. You know what I mean? They would have a moss addiction. You feel me? Because they're all chasing the edge. You know what I'm saying? What can we do to be exemplary in our field? How can we get to the top of the mountain? You know, it can't be off sheer talent alone. It has to be attributed to something. So when people saw Eminem and he kind of was alluding to the fact that, look, you know, I'm smashed every time that I'm doing this. You know what I mean? You can't jump into you can't throw the white suit on, right? And other white rappers tried it and they didn't succeed. You know, is it the whiteness? No, it's not the whiteness alone.
It wasn't whiteness alone.
Yeah, is it blonde hair? No, it can't be. It's not blonde hair alone. Is it talking crazy about my mama? No, it's not talking crazy about your mama alone. It must be the drugs, right? With Michael Jordan, it must be the shoes. Sold a whole lot of goddamn shoes in pursuit of the edge or the flow. You understand? Right? So marketing, yeah. If he could still be packing lines around the block last week for the 11s, okay, and they're still chasing the edge. They're still chasing the flow, right? His shoes still have value in the minds of people that are chasing the edge. Imagine how it resonates in a studio, in a creative process with people who are uniquely creative anyway. So they are more susceptible to tap into that Neptunian energy regardless.
That is true.
You understand? We're dealing with imagination, right? Neptune, dealing with the dream state, right? You daydreaming, you pulling rhymes out the sky. That's in the same house as drugs. You dig what I'm saying? And then there's other, right? So there's other astrological. Hold on, because we're even going to talk about this tonight because it pertains to cryptocurrency. There's other astrological aspects that are supporting, right, these conjunctions, or the pill craze. The pill craze has an astrological imprint that supports it, right? Which says it's going to get way worse. We're only at the beginning of it.
Facts.
You dig what I'm saying?
Neptune, right?
It's a Uranus and a Neptune aspect, yes.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? And it also is an imprint or aspect that speaks to cryptocurrency that supports it. All right.
I said expound on that if you may.
I will as we
go into the show.
Yeah, get a little further into the show. You know what I'm saying? But we do have our guests in the building. I don't necessarily want to drag this out too much. This is not a show about hip hop and Eminem. We're gonna have Hip Hop at 44 2017 recap show before the year is done. You know what I'm saying? I think that it was a phenomenal year in hip hop. In its 44th year, I think that it encapsulated one of the most interesting stories by far. And it needs to be told, not only because I'm on my 44s and I want to talk about 444 and the maturation of Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? And how that coincides with, the headlines, you know what I'm saying? Especially dealing with this paradigm shift. Okay, we're witnessing several paradigm shifts. Let's be clear. We're witnessing several paradigm shifts. You dig what I'm saying? And even with the currency or the current for that matter, that's moon, that's lunar energy. That's feminine, that's the divine feminine. So we can encapsulate and put that all into one bag. Even with Jupiter and Scorpio, we know Scorpio's twin is Taurus, right? It's 6 signs, they come together. So there's a money aspect that's going to be affected. We're watching that, right? There's a feminine aspect dealing with that current, that moon, that currency, dealing with this currency that is shifting, right? We're watching a complete shift. We're watching women come into power. We're watching a decapitation of the old guard, the patriarchal old guard. They're taking them down one by one.
Well, and the abuse of patriarchal power.
Hey, some people gonna get thrown in they throwing the strawberries, the bananas, the mangoes, and the apples in the blender. You feel me? Yeah. Hey, they making a smoothie. You feel me? They like, oh, it's blueberries over there. It's cherries. Everybody getting thrown in the blender. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, they gave him Megatron. They got a gun. Half gun will shoot. So let's get down, lay down.
All day.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see it.
What would you do for a Klondike bar? So you know what I mean? If you want to survive the purge, you know what I'm saying? They might have people like dude from FCC. They might have you on camera Harlem shaking. So post net neutrality, post Bitcoin hitting its apex as of lately, post the fake news about homie catching people for $1 million in Chuck E. Cheese Bitcoin. Post this.
Hold on, I think
post the conscious criticism. You know what I'm saying? Because smart niggas, they always gonna come up with a way to become cynics.
Hold on, he sold me one. Yo, that nigga got me, dog.
You got you. So, yeah, post all of these things that are taking place since we last came on the program. You know what I'm saying? I figured that we addressed that. Plus, there's still, we still got to finish our breakfast. There's still things on the table that we got to deal with in regards to the program that we've brought forth. It's been an amazing few days in in crypto. You know what I'm saying? As I've been listening to other people's dissertations, I've been invited to listen in. I've, you know, bumped into some other things that I've chose to pay some attention to. You feel me? And it's this is a full-fledged revolution, you know, that's taking place, and I want people to be well informed because, like with everything else, you know what I'm saying, everything that glitters is not gold. The charlatans are descending upon gullible folk. You know what I mean? I got another email today from a young brother, early 20s. He said that, you know, one of the most popular scammer in the community, you know, we don't need to say any names at this point, got him and his whiz for 70K. 70K. So I got a folder, right, with all of the people that have come to me after we said something. It's up to 500K at this point. 500, half a million. And Lord knows what else is going on out there. So we just want to, once again, help people with any level of discernment so you can tell what's real and what's not, what's going on out here. Because I could already hear the cries. You know what I'm saying? Because our people, unfortunately, have a tendency to jump into things uninformed, right? They respond off stimulus, off of emotion a lot without doing their homework. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that are going on in this particular space right now. Everybody's popping up with a live or a blog talk or YouTube or this or that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a program. And this is not about knocking nobody's attempt to implement their programs. I just want to bring forward people who are responsible enough to help you look for what you need to know so you could discern and work your way through the current so you can ride the wave and not end up underneath it. You dig what I'm saying?
Super facts, yeah.
So let me do this. Let me bring our good brother Michael Singleton in. I don't know if that will kind of disable your camera for a second. I don't really know how the 3 thing works.
Yeah,
You
now
know,
if it's the if you set it up as the talk show,
I
then we'll
did.
all be in here together. It's all good.
All right. All right. With no further ado, all right, let me bring our brother Michael Singleton in. You dig what I'm saying? And yeah, you might need to monitor because I'm not in the chat room. I don't know what's going on in there.
Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, my good brother.
Peace, brothers. How y'all doing tonight?
Peace, Mike. What's good with you, bro?
Man, just listening in and enjoying the conversations you guys were having. Also, looking at this Bitcoin ride, you know, pretty exciting. But again, you know, there's a lot more room for other opportunities, and I guess that's what we're here to talk about tonight. You know, primarily also just to recap. You know, back in 2014. You know, a lot of what's going on now, we talked about this and how we were going to implement some things so we could bring the community in and, you know, create a family. And, you know, I think the fact that Bitcoin is taking a meteoric rise in terms of its price gives us a lot to talk about and also a lot to build on as well. You know, primarily because the fact of the matter is a lot more room available for other coins. The alternative coins are out there, and you know, if you do your homework, you know, and do some due diligence and some research, you know, you might find you know, some gold up underneath some of those rocks that exist out there. So I think that's probably something we'll talk about tonight. You know, just the opportunities, but also coming to the table from a family standpoint. So, you know, anything that we get involved in, you know, we want to share the information as much as possible with each other. And I'm encouraging the listeners to do their research. Don't just we can see the hype, and there is a rise, and in that all actuality, they got a big prediction of this thing will go up to $100,000. But You know, what goes up is definitely going to come down. And so why not look for something that could be possibly the next opportunity versus this one? Because, you know, like when the internet came along, you know, a lot of the listeners probably were toddlers at that time period. Some of us aren't, and we didn't jump on. You know, we looked at it, we watched it, we watched how money was being started to become made on the internet, and primarily it got started with the porn industry. You know, and then they took the model from the porn industry and used it for every major company that exists on the net today that was around at that time period. They used that same model to make money. You know,
was that before the bust?
That was before the bust. That was before the bust. That was like the first entity to really make any money on the internet was the porn industry.
Yes.
You know, and the average person who was spending money was
purveyor.
50-something-year-old middle-aged white guy. You know, because
I saw I saw that documentary as well. It was informative.
Right.
You know, he was using his credit card. You know, trying to be on the slide. You know, but you know, they pushed that industry to heights, and then big companies started seeing that, and they were like, okay, well, shoot, we could follow the same model. So they took a lot from the porn industry to start making money. So, and this whole thing with the Bitcoin thing, if you look at the Facebook, man, you see everybody got something. There's some link to join this, join that. I'm making this, I'm making that. Yeah, okay. You know, but I'm gonna just go back to it again, that we could do our homework, we could do our research, we could find other opportunities to get on a train, and especially if that coin or if that cryptocurrency is put in place to go after a niche market. Okay, right now Bitcoin is across the board; it's everywhere. You can purchase a lot of high-end things with it. But if you had $1 million in Bitcoin, you'll have a hell of a time getting that $1 million into your bank account. You know, and it's not ever going to happen in real time. It's not there at this point in time period. You know, you can buy a big ticket item for $1 million, but if you wanted to try to transfer that to your bank, they ain't going to take it. You know, so but that is going to change. You know, because we see the quote unquote powers to be or the construct is moving in this direction. They're all going to start creating their own coins to come into play, but that doesn't. Right now, we have a window that, you know, for the young entrepreneurs and the young brothers and sisters that are out there that are tech savvy. You know, you could, if you had an idea and you wanted to start a clothing line or anything to that effect, you could create a coin at the same time. I know on the last show we had, you know, it was a kind of a big push to Bitcoin. I'm not against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is really the godfather of this whole thing. But all it did is open up the way for other currencies, as brother put it earlier, to come to the table, and they can be created by, you know, young brothers and sisters, or it doesn't really matter. They could be created by anybody that looks like us. We could create some currency as well, and we need to start moving on that soon, so we can get grandfathered in before these governments start sticking their coin on the table, and then they'll do things to kind of eliminate the smaller coins.
It's gonna come with an incentive. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna turn the coin into the EBT card. You feel me?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, there's gonna be some way for them to they're gonna start some niche part of the market to get in first. Yeah. You know, and then they're gonna try to turn it on like Pac-Man and start gobbling it up. But the one thing that we can just smile about is they didn't stop Bitcoin. They let it get out. Now,
can we have
who is they? I don't know. There's a great possibility, you know, we all might be looking at the game being played. But then again, you know, we still have an opportunity because of the fact that this is software, you know, and you could take the software and you could mold it to what you want it to do. And, you know, we've been looking for this kind of opportunity in our community for a really long time to have something, that we could trade with, and now is our opportunity. So and I'm not just limiting that to just the coin that I'm affiliated with. I'm just bringing it to the table that's what we should be looking at, because we got a lot of brilliant young minds out there that could help. And the more and more that we could create a family and start collaborating and getting, sharing information and then understanding who's what, who can do what, and who can do things in terms of this coding side. We need to garner that, because in reality, the biggest cost is, once you get past the code side, is just getting the coin registered on a number of the major exchanges that Bitcoin and Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash are being traded on. And normally to get a coin on one of those exchanges is going to be about $5,000. But once you're able to do that, now you got some validity, to your coin. So that then the next step is to start finding, businesses in your community or a niche market again that will accept that coin and start trading it the same way they did Bitcoin. It started out, somebody traded Bitcoin for a pizza. If you say it's a model, they put the models out, all we have to do is continue to follow the same model, but look for niche markets. It's like you guys got a product. Well, your products are health based, right? Well, there's a whole health industry out there. So if you created a coin, and I've got something that came to me over the last 7 days in terms of some additional things that the coin can actually do. So now I have the ability to help create coins that can start from seed to the fork or to the table. So if you let's say you were growing something, you had a seed, you planted it, right? Okay, well, that seed is going to grow up into a plant. And that plant is going to, let's say, bear some fruit or something to that effect. Well, I've got the technology to attach to the coin to take it from the seed all the way to the final process, where you can keep inventory all the way through. So those are things that. Go ahead, brother.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Can I ask you about mining? Because that conversation has been dominant as well. People are speaking about the alternatives of buying coins, and they're saying that we need to have the conversation about mining Bitcoins. So I know that you have information in that field. Can you just expound on that to inform the family about the whole mining process, please?
Okay, I agree about the mining process, and the mining process basically, you got a CPU or a number of CPUs, but primarily, you want something that's a little larger. You want to try to get close to server type systems as possible. And of course, you can make money, but you got to also be in a situation where the power that you're using to solve these problems doesn't override the profits that you're going to garner. So you can make money in mining, and it's probably the better route to go. So because you don't have that immediate cash outlay, but you also have to watch that it doesn't run your power bill up to a point where you may not be able to do it. So to me, it would be and I might be. I know you guys have probably talked about the quantum computer before in the past, and right, the D-Wave. Well, I looked at that from the standpoint of how the hell can we use it? So this thing can basically solve problems 10,000 times faster than a regular server.
Facts.
And that would be what we want. Now then you can.
That would be the mining.
That's the mining. That's what you want.
The computational power on it will be able to mine.
It's gonna cost you about 10 or 15 million, but if you can come up, but hold on, but I'm gonna get to how you.
I Diddy.
Yeah, but I'll get to how we could raise that. Those are just things that we could look at as a collective, because our ultimate thing has always been, let's create a network. So we create this network. If we look at this whole economic system or this capitalistic system that has been laid out around the world, there are networks that fit inside the system. So everybody that's playing, they have a network, so they could take their network and move it from part to part to part to part. What we have to do is we've got to develop a network as well. And once we're able to develop a network, then a strong network, we can start looking at the things that we just brought up about being able to have access to that computer. We know there's some players out there, okay, but for a long time we talked about Black Star. I'm gonna go back to that again, and what Garvey did with Black Star, he was able to finance, regardless of what happened with it, he was able to finance the dream by offering securities and shares to melanated folks all across the country. And so they sent money to the corporation in the mail, nickels, dimes, pennies, but they also got stock certificates, and they became owners of Black Star. So those things that we keep going around it now. They talked about crowdfunding that came in, and you guys were spot on. Y'all were, telling folks about crowdfunding primarily before a lot of people even knew what it was even about. And you kept piping, crowdfunding.
Bitcoin, yeah.
Right. So what happened, now you got crowdfunding where you can do equity crowdfunding. Somebody brought that up in the last show that you had about the equity crowdfunding. That's good, but and see, my thing, I've been piping Regulation A+, and primarily because Regulation A+ is crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding on steroids. But it's a throwback because, imagine somebody doing what they did in the 1920s, okay, where they were able to raise millions of dollars from nickels, dimes, and pennies, okay, and they were able to sell securities in a company to raise that money. So they had, at that time period, the fact that was done, how many corporations that we could have developed if we kept that model going at that time period, and how strong we would have become. They had to shut that down, But so for 75 to 80 years, no private company in the United States is able to sell securities straight to the general public, to the person that might be partially employed. He can buy shares in a private company now if you do a Regulation A+. So for 75 to 80 years, that was not allowed. So when we take a look at, maybe what did Obama actually do? Put it where we had to go read it, and so they put it in the 2012 Jobs Act. So if we go through that, we'll see the gems. They're there. But the other side of it is we have to take the people who are savvy enough to be able to read and understand the documentation, and then the other people who are savvy enough to come in on the back end and do some of the implementation of the programs that could be put together. Now, we have an opportunity right now, and I used to always wonder when the nation, when they had the Million Man March, they came back and they did it again. But this thing used to kind of buzz at me all the time. Was like, okay, they passed that bucket around, right? Now, what if everybody that put $1 in that bucket got a share in a company? And we had some type of idea, whether it will be farming or something or it was manufacturing, something where we could sell to our people. But everybody that was out there to put some money in that bucket got a certificate and they had some ownership in it, then it would be a little bit different. Now you got something meaningful that would happen. And I always, that just bugged me. And when I got an opportunity to see that they signed Regulation A+ in, man, I was so happy because I was like, oh, here's a shot. Here's the shot for the mom and pop to now become, bigger. They can grow because now you have the opportunity to, like, if you got customers, if you're selling something to me, if I bought something from you and you said, okay, well, you know what, you're a loyal customer. You spend $100 with me. I'm gonna give you 10 shares of my company. So every $100 that you spend with me, I'm gonna give you 10 shares. Okay. I'm coming back forever. I'm gonna be a customer forever, and I'm gonna tell everybody. Because why? Because I got some ownership in this company now. You know, So when we take things to the next level and get off the mom and pop thought process, that we could grow this, but you could grow it with your own customer base. So now let's look at Bitcoin. Okay, the geeks really helped Bitcoin get out the box, and change. And then some of not necessarily the Wall Street financial people, but some wealthy folks got involved because they could see, hey, here's an opportunity for me to make money. So now what happens is every time you see that price rise really high, it goes up. It might surge $2,000 or $3,000. That's because they're putting them billionaires are putting money in it. And then when it shakes, the tree shakes a little bit. Okay, when the price drops back down, they're selling off a little bit. Now the next rise is going to probably be about $22,000, $23,000. It's going to jump again, probably before Christmas. But the point of it is, I'll go back to it. We got enough knowledge in our community to start developing 2 or 3, 4 or 5 coins of our own, and network with those coins, so that when this thing does come where China has a coin, Russia has a coin, the U.S. has a coin, we could compete. We could put our coin right in the fray and compete with them. And that's primarily what it is. So we have a coin. It's called Yorick Coin, and we've got a network that we created because in order for now, here's one of the sweetest pieces that they did. Okay, with Regulation A Plus, and I know this is about cryptocurrency, but I'm going to bring this up because with Regulation A Plus, the sweetest thing that they did is they allow you to utilize the whole social media platform to get your word out. So you can do something called sticking your toe in the water. Okay, so by sticking your toe in the water, you can set up a website, let people know that you're going to do an offering, and then ask them would they be interested in having some ownership in your company, which you're offering. And you can use Facebook, you can use Twitter, you can use Instagram. You can use every form of social media that exists out there. You couldn't do this, 5 years ago, but now there's just so much available to us that we could do that we weren't able to do. We can now sell securities, which is a stock, to anybody in our company if we set the package up correctly. So our thing really is, I got a team, and with our network program is called CryptoNair ICO Services. It's a 4x4 force matrix, and we, with the twins, we participated in one in the past. We just took the same formula and put it together because it was peer to peer. Okay, so what is the blockchain? What is Bitcoin? Peer to peer. So it's not right. So we put this together where there's no company sitting there. You got to pay any money to the company. You're paying money directly to another peer that's in the network program. Well, the primary purpose for creating this network program is because we want to roll Regulation A pluses out in our community, as many businesses as possible to do that. Now, if we bring a network to the table, now we're bringing a network of potential investors who can possibly bring $100 to the table to invest to get 100 shares in a company. But if we got 5,000 to 10,000 people that we bring with us, and they put the information out on social media, that thing grows, tremendously in terms of I see somebody saying, "Are there any taxes?" Yeah, if you get Bitcoin and you get it and you buy it and it goes up, you got to pay taxes on it. But that, who cares about that if you got an opportunity to play? The field is wide open right now, and we got an opportunity to play in this field in any way that we want to. I would just suggest that people do a lot more studying on alternative coins and alternative situations. But primarily, again, we have a 4x4 force matrix. The brothers, the twins are involved in it. And what we like to do with it is create business opportunities down the line for small entrepreneurs and teach you how to set your own Regulation A plus offerings up so that we could all become investors in our own entities, because, I know that there's a paradigm shift. I know there's a lot of things changing, but, until it burns down, they're never going to change this corporate structure. So why not? Let's master what they have on this table and take the new technology and integrate it into what it is that we plan to do. And, let's become international players. And that's really what we should be developing our networks to do. Not just to be domestic businesses, but international businesses, but by creating a network, and utilizing this new technology, which is cryptocurrency, to get us there as well.
I have a question. You brought up international, and of course, it would be remiss of me to not mention that continent and the potential that Africa has, especially to the contingency amongst us who consider themselves Pan-Africans and have ties to West Africa, South Africa, and other places on the continent. I have brothers personally who go back and forth, right? And they've told me that the brothers and sisters on the continent are more knowledgeable about cryptocurrencies than a lot of people in America. Would it be advantageous for us to begin going over there to build networks on the continent as a result of what it is that you're talking about building up these crypto networks?
I think so, definitely. I think that we, when you start talking about creating a network marketing program, you build it where it could be something that could be utilized anywhere in the world. So to me, that would be the fastest way to create a situation that has a minimal cost to get involved, but you can, if you look at the 4x4 for the 44s, and you take a look at how it operates, and if you can grab it or grasp it, we can place these things down anywhere in the world, and also create cryptos where we can implement them into a networking system to work with brothers and sisters in the diaspora. And the reason why they're probably more abreast of cryptocurrencies is because the thing that's happening with the existing money in their countries is not good. So they're looking for alternatives.
So
they started looking for these alternatives a lot sooner than we are, because we're still fiat. I wouldn't say bound, but we're fiat in our thinking, because this is the currency that we utilize.
Fiat addicted.
Right. Yeah, right. That's true.
To show you how fiat addicted we are, everybody's looking at Bitcoin in order to cash out for the bag.
Yeah, that's true. Right. You got to still go back. You still got to go back to the fiat, until they kind of do away with fiat, period, which could probably, now I'll put it this way, that's going to happen soon.
Yes.
This whole thing is going to be digital, and all they're really doing, if you look at how fast this price is going up, they are preparing us for how fast things are going to change. Those technologies that have kind of been held back for a long period of time, they're going to start popping up, man, and we'll be in that space age real fast. And so you're either going to get with it, or you're just going to be left out. I know that. Go ahead, brother.
No. I want you to finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I know they talk about the chip, and you can get some of this Bitcoin, or you can get that chip. I don't necessarily espouse to that thought, but I know that they're gonna usher in some stuff that we couldn't even imagine as far as technology is concerned.
AI.
And
yeah. Let me say this though. Let me ask you that was my next question. In the space of time that we've had the last program, between then and now, I've been hearing a lot of murmuring about AI actually being behind Bitcoin. They're trying to say that Bitcoin was a creation of AI. I know that we have the mysterious founder with the white paper.
Right. Well, this is what I'll say to that. I'll say, like, hey, look, if I'm the king of the jungle and I'm running the show, right? And I got probably the thing that makes me the king is I got the baddest army in the world. Okay. Now, if I allow for something to proliferate within my my kingdom, and I just let it go on and on and on and on. And it, it has the potential to change things, but I allow it to go forth, and I don't stop it. Period. I don't do anything. This thing could have got stopped, 9 years ago. When it hit $10, they could have stopped it and said, look, think of everybody, all the other things that have come out here when people have come out trying to create some type of currency. And they, you end up somewhere where you don't want to be at. But for some reason, they got this anonymous person who we don't know who the hell he is, wrote this white paper, put this technology out here that says it's open source. Everybody can have access to it, and boom, voila, here you go. So I'm kind of like under that same thought that y'all might be under that. We got to have one of our eyes definitely raised, in terms of this thing. Now, there's a brother. I don't know if you've heard of Reggie Middleton.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I kind of like his whole approach to this from the smart contract standpoint, because really, when the smoke clears, the blockchain is going to be the thing that's going to be there. So that's the thing that we really need to really get our arms around real solidly, because every business that exists is going to have to be on the blockchain. That's a good thing because it's going to cut down on the thievery, but we really need to get our arms around the blockchain, because that is going to allow us to be players in this new paradigm.
So for my researchers, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. For our researchers that are out there on the call right now, there's a bunch of researchers. They're corresponding in the chat room. Where would you send them to go and do the blockchain research? What authors or books would you recommend?
Well, go to Block Geeks, and they got some free tutorials on there.
Block Geeks?
Block Geeks, GEEKS, and that you'll get a lot of information from them. And they're constantly putting up new info, But the thing of it is I like Bitcoin, but I also like the smart contract, because that is going to be how commerce is going to be basically done. And at the end of the day, this is all, it's currency, it's moving, so it's commerce, and so we have to just decide where are we going to get in. But to me, we can get in with a few coins and start our own coins, and then put our major focus on being players as far as the blockchain is concerned. When the smoke clears, that's because right now, I'll give you an example. I think we talked about this before. Social enterprise. Okay.
Yes.
They got billions of dollars sitting over there for social enterprise. So recently, the government has been giving away money for blockchain research, and also social enterprise got started in San Francisco, and, we won't get into who brought it, but those San Francisco types brought it to the Northeast and to the East Coast. And first place they stopped was Columbus, Ohio, and start moving to other places. But we should start researching social enterprise. Okay, I got an idea. And this is kind of what we do. We got a model we're putting together. And this model is kind of built around, have you seen the container homes?
Yes.
Or the crop boxes where you can grow inside of a container, and if you set it up correctly, you can get up to it'll bring you out to an acre of what you could grow inside one of those containers.
Those are beautiful. Yes.
So we put a model together that would be like a bookend. We have two of those containers, and then it's almost like a horseshoe, but it's in a square, a half of a square. And when we start seeing Chicago, they created a blockchain center. It's a social enterprise. They got about $3.5 million for that center. Now, every major company, and they created a new thing for social enterprise. It's called, you got a C corporation and you got an S corporation, right? They got a new one called a B corporation. It's a benefit corporation. That's for social enterprise. That's for social enterprise.
I
So
was on that in 2014, trying to share with the family. Look, that's when I read the description of social enterprise or social entrepreneurship. I'm like, what the? That's us. That's all of
That's community without the
yeah,
bus.
but see what they're doing, man, is because we're not on it. They're coming to our community and setting up. They're getting money to set businesses up that are supposed to be something that's going to help the urban community or the rural community.
No,
Mike. Hold on. Let me get mine in. In 2013, right? I had went to a meeting with she was supposed to be the queen of what you call that stuff. She was the queen of I don't know why I'm getting a brain freeze at this particular time, but she secured the funding. What's that when you write?
Grant writer.
Grant writer. She was the queen of grant writing. And she explained the whole game to me. She said, look, when you look at the news and they have social issues, in particular, ones dealing with urban boys, in particular, urban youth.
Yeah, at risk.
Yeah, urban youth. She said the millions come pouring in from the government the following year. So when you see these news cycles, this was before Trayvon, I think. And then after that, when I started seeing them ratchet up all of these stories dealing with cop killings and urban youth, and all, I was like, oh, that's to secure the bag. I mean, that's for data mining for the Negroes on that side, which also securing the bag for them later on. And it's securing some other things for their intel. But it also was for social entrepreneurship. That's why the flood of the gentrifiers, they're getting grants to come into these communities to set up shop. You feel me?
Right.
And then, you know, they run all of these different programs and they suck all the grants up. And then the people that are grassroots, that are in the community can't get no money because the people from Kansas and Missouri already came here with the bag saying, look, we're going to feed these children organic lunch.
Blue.
Right week.
Blue, you taking bars? You stealing bars?
I'm telling you what I experienced. You told me that's how the game go.
No, I'm just playing. I did the research. I'm only sharing that you are absolutely correct because when I did the research, that's what I came to community and said, look, social entrepreneurship, you know how everybody says, yo, how did all of the Europeans regentrify all of our hoods at the same time? I was like, yo, you're not realizing that they're ahead of you in their studies. They got into social entrepreneurship in these towns, Boise, Idaho, Montana, Kansas. This is what they were learning in college. They set them up with grant money. That's why they're able to afford those $4,000 and $5,000, $3,000 rents living in your neighborhoods. That's why they painted the trap house and turned it into a bagel shop. That's all grant money. And while everybody was hooping and hollering in church or chilling with Black Lives Matter, you know what I mean? Going to, you know,
look, that's social entrepreneurship. They got the bag too.
No, they did get the bag. I already know. I know.
Example of
Black Lives Matter is a social entrepreneurship.
They got the enterprise.
So yeah. Blue, do you still have access to the queen of grant writing?
I do.
Okay. All right. So this is what I'd like to put on the table, okay, for the listeners. We got a program. It's called Kryptonaire ICO Services. So it's $10 to get into the program.
Yeah, I need you to spell that for the people that are listening.
Kryptonaire, CRYPOT. Man, let me back up. CRYPTONAIRICOSERVICES.com. Kryptonaire ICO Services. I think you guys are going to drop your link, right? And what we like for the listeners to do is to come in and join under the twins. Then secondly, what I'd like to do is, since Brothers has said he still has access to that grant writer, I got a team and we got a model already, you know, but we can do some growing and we can start setting centers down, blockchain learning centers for our community, for the kids and for the adults to come in because if we don't start teaching our own on this stuff, we're going to get lost. And that money is available. So just like you said, a lot of those folks, they left their little rural communities and came to the hood because they had access to the money. You know, they never would have done it if they didn't have the money, and so the money was available. There's still money available, but we just have to sit down and we got to do it in a strategic way. And the way you do it is, well, I won't say it on me. We'll talk personally, but there's a way to do it. All you got to do is look at how they did it. We do it the same way they did it, and we step back and make sure that everything is done properly. We just step back and we run the show. But we should have one in Harlem. We should have 4 or 5 of them in New York. We should have a number of them in Detroit. We should have a number of them coming down here in the West, where we set them up in our communities where our folks can go and learn about what's transpiring. Only, with the whole cryptocurrency thing, even though, I'm a baby boomer. So even though with the baby boomer situation, most.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut anybody's wisdom, please, because there's a ton of people asking for the link. Are you able to access your chat room, Blue Pill? Are you able to write into the thing?
I'm trying to figure that writing thing out right now.
There's a red box that says agenda.
Okay, yeah, agenda.
Yeah, write the website in agenda, and then press whatever button it has to post it. It'll appear as a red bubble right on your screen. So everybody in the chat room, look at Blue Pill's screen. The website that you can go to, and the link will be right there. And then you could and then I'll put it in the chat when you put it up. All right. Please continue, Mike.
So basically, as a baby boomer, it would be pretty much be considered that we're not really technology savvy, right? But in a sense, wireless got started from the baby boomers. The internet got started from the baby boomers. This whole technology shift going from analog to digital came from the baby boomers. But the other side of it is now there's got to be a bridge, a gap needs to be bridged between the generations at this point in time so that we don't get left out. Normally we get left out, but we don't have to be left out of this one because we know where the money is at. We got enough brain power. We know how to put the packaging together. That social enterprise thing, we should be all over that. And a lot of us, a lot of, including the listeners, a lot of us can benefit from that because it's a corporation, shareholders, owners, stakeholders in the whole deal. All we have to do is we can register a couple master B corporations, benefit corporations, and then pay the state fees to do work as a foreign corporation in any state that we choose to go, and take that same model and the same grant package and send in money for each city. So before they get it, because it just happened about 4 months ago, Chicago, they set one up in Chicago, but they got their money about a month ago. And so there's been press releases on it. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, they can't do anything that we can't do. And all it really is they're going to connect with a few geeks to have them come in and do speaking engagements on a regular basis. But we want to look at it from a different standpoint. We want to feed ourselves. We want to be able to maintain, and we want to be able to teach as well, because we're going to have some young geniuses, these little kids,
they're
totally wired up. Yeah,
super wired
they're totally wired up. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we got to create playgrounds for them. That whole blockchain thing, okay, you got it in there. I see it. Well, you probably need to put your link. So let me see if I can grab your. Yeah. You got a / in there.
Is that spelled correctly?
That's correct. So put red and blue behind that. I think we had that in all caps too.
So you could do it. You could take that off, Blue, and do it again.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to continue, but I want to ask you this one question, Mike.
Okay.
Let's say that I'm listening to this program. I'm in the audience. I'm one of the many people who are qualified to come forward and do grant writing. I'm one of the people who are qualified to be a part of the team. I'm one of the people who are qualified to go and do the research. What do I do next?
Okay, I think what you do is you can reach out to one, come and join at Crypto Near ICO services. Then two, make the pills aware that you have that ability. Then three, then we'll set up something in the real near future where we can all get together and collaborate and start moving forward. We're not gonna come and talk. We're gonna come and do some work. So if you got a skill, come on and let's set up. We'll set up another conference. It'll probably be something where we do, not necessarily live, but it'll be something that we can do to bring the masters together and let's put the plan together. You're right, a hangout. We could do that.
Because
put the plan together and let's go to work.
Yes.
So
because we're going into the. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother.
Look,
No,
you see,
finish your statement.
put the link in there.
No, so yeah. So basically, what it would do is come on and join us. It only costs you $10 to join with the brothers, and then after that, let's come together and let's collaborate because we could create a lot, but we can you can do so much, Red. You can do so much, Blue. I can only do so much. We could do a hell of a lot with 10, 20 people. They've got skills.
I'm stressing this because we're going into the winter season. The advantage that we have about the winter season is that me and Blue will have more time on our hands to focus on the building process, right? Remember, this is when seeds are planted and they spring forward in the spring. So during these winter months, we could begin to build up this network like you're talking about. We travel. We could go to the West Coast. We could go to the South. We could do seminars in all of these different states and spread this information. And this is something that we have to do. Not that we're willing to, we have to do it at this point.
Because two things. Not only that, we're in the new moon energy. New moon is all about intentions. You know what I'm saying? So this is when we set our intentions in place. You know what I'm saying? We only have a few days left until it's the quote unquote new year. So people should already have furnished out in front of them some sort of written intention about what you want to show up in 2018 looking like. You know what I mean? Are you chasing the bag or are you chasing wealth? This is a paradigm shift that we are in the midst of. So we want to position the family to put everybody or those that are willing to be in place where they can play the game to win. You know what I'm saying? Almost wholeheartedly if you play it the right way. Okay? This is like being at the cusp of the industrial age. This is being at the cusp of the technical age. It's a different shift. It's digital. You know what I'm saying? It's dealing with currency. Like we said, this whole Jupiter and Scorpio aspect, it directly affects it's sex, money, murder. You know what I'm saying? So it goes into all facets. You know what I mean? So we want to put people in position where we can move as a team. And it's imperative we do it now because the new conversation that everybody's having is net neutrality. They're like, what if the internet goes off? You know what I'm saying? How am I supposed to check on my crypto? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? If you want to get into that conversation about how is net neutrality affecting, was that a blow from the quote unquote higher ups to somewhat stymie the upward mobility of cryptocurrency?
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think they're not going to turn the internet off, because there's too many billion-dollar entities that have to utilize the internet to be able to survive at this point in time.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazon gonna hit $1 trillion.
Right. Yes. So that's not going to happen. So I don't think we should spend our time focusing on that. We should spend our time focusing on how do we become players in this game. How can we start an Amazon? How can we start a company that, you know,
what,
that benefits all of us? So,
what it
so
looks
the
like
sisters, I think one of the sisters.
when I
Okay,
step back and I look at net neutrality combined with this tax code thing that they're working on right now, they're criminalizing being poor in America. They might almost end up throwing you in jail or shooting you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're seriously taking out bottom feeders, as they call them. So they're leaving
my
you
thing is, let's
be upwardly mobile.
Yeah, so let's bring ourselves into to this thing to become players, and you got to come to the owner's box. You know, everything that you see in this system is corporately based, and so you could play this game by mastering what they have on the table to get yourself to the point where you're able to move about and be an international player. And that's the way we got to take a look at it. Is, yeah, there's a lot of things that they say that might happen, but until that happens, we still got to keep on playing. And it's not checkers, it's chess. We got to strategically make moves. We can make moves based on the things that are on the table. Just like you guys were able to see that what they're doing in terms of the whole social enterprise and the whole social entrepreneurial thing. You know, that's us. Period. You know, who would know that better than anybody? We know what's going on in our community. We know what's going on with the kids. So why are we allowing someone else to come into our own backyards and reap the benefits from some shit that they already created in the first goddamn place?
You understand?
We know how it was created.
Look, for the sisters out there, for the empresses, for the goddesses, Black Girls Code, go and do the research on them. They are tapping into all kind of money with Google and Apple. They are throwing the bag at Black Girls Code at a pace that I've never seen before. These are Black girl with Black girl magic, utilizing coding. If we don't all buckle down and focus primarily on social enterprising, social entrepreneurship. What's the social that the Indian guy touched on, Blue Pill, in that lecture recently?
Well, his company is dealing with social capitalism. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Where his intent is to secure the bag. He said with money, because he said 150 people run the world. He's a billionaire. He's sitting in the room. He said he met a few of them. He said all of them utilize their bag, their money, right, to push their agendas. All of them have different ideas about how the world should be run. And they impregnate the world with these ideas by pushing money into these ideas, whether it's buying policy. He was the Koch brothers, KOCH family, if you need to do your research, okay? He was the Koch brothers as the perfect example of what he's talking about social capitalists, right? That you might consider on the dark side. What he's doing, he considers that on the good side, if you will. But on the dark side, right, on some Star Wars shit, you got the Koch brothers who use their capital, right, to push their ideology, their worldview onto the world, and to conform the world into their worldview. He said that's the only way that you're going to get it done. It's going to take the bag. And by the bag, he's talking the billions. You know what I'm saying? But that can be done in Bitcoin as well, or crypto for that matter. But he's just talking about securing, a level of something that you consider tangible that's going to make this thing move. You understand?
Now, I want to translate that real quickly for people who may not understand this saying. Jay-Z and Diddy coming together. There's a video that they just put up on Instagram, a 1-minute loop, where they were at their party this summer, and they're like Black excellence. You know what I mean? They have secured the bag. Now they're using social capitalism to shape their reality and to bring forward group consciousness. They're swaying. They are mass influencers, so they're able to sway the masses into whatever they say they want to do. So then Diddy came forward and say, "Yo, they want the Panthers are for sale. I want to buy the Panthers and I want to sign Kaepernick." That's called social capitalism. He has secured the bag. He's the number one ranked, you know what I mean, grossing entertainer for many, many moons. right? And his social capitalism can move mountains.
Right.
I would say if I had a chance, if I had a elevator pitch to him, I would bring forward the D-Wave computer or any kind of quantum computer coming out of China, and I would explain to him how spending $10 million on a quantum computer would trump by so many means owning the motherfucking Panthers. I would show him that owning a quantum computer would advance the race more than being a football owner, because there's not a global race in football right now. There's a global race for quantum supremacy. And while it's affordable, we have the opportunity to put our hands on it. The computation power of 10 million computers or 7 billion brains are at your hands right now. That's what I would tell him. That would be my Shark Tank pitch to him.
But yeah,
But
you
that's
know,
what Blue was talking about.
even outside of what you feel about Jay-Z or Diddy, if you think that they're just, you know, blowing hot steam or what have you, if you listen even to the Jay-Z interviews as of lately, especially the Rap Radar one and the one with the New York Times, he's talking about social capitalism. He's saying, let's put all of our money together and make something happen. He's putting the call out. I don't know if nobody's answering it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He also acquired a company that say he's a venture capitalist now. He's willing to invest in people's ideas and what have you. And I'm sure, you know, in a 6-month span, one of them dudes is gonna pop out with their own coin. And it's gonna be all the rave. So you can't hold a money phone up to your ear no more. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to have a cache of coins. Mike, because people are asking questions in the chat. I want to utilize, huh?
Okay. 250,000 brothers and sisters with $100. We got enough money to get a quantum computer. We set a corporation up. We sell shares. That's how we raise the money, and we could own a quantum computer and also do mining all day long, and we'd be one of the fastest miners in the world. You know, you should be able to make $500,000 to $1 million a day with one of those.
Facts. I would like to believe that could start right here, right now. I need you to explain to them, how does Kryptonair ICO services work? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What exactly is it? Right. How does that machine operate? What are they signing up for?
Basically, what you get as a product, you're going to get educational products that deal with basics of Bitcoin, the basics of the blockchain, the basics of cryptocurrency itself, and we also have, as added value, we put in there where you can get a couple businesses in the box. One of them in particular, a step-by-step process on how to set up a credit repair business tomorrow. And I mean, you get that just for when you go to the second level, which is $20, and you pay another peer that $20, you get access to that business in a box. We have another one. It's a tax sales package where it teaches you how to purchase tax sales. Meaning, right now, I think it's like 18 to 36% around the nationwide. If you went in and you just purchased a tax sale, what you get would be a property. You don't get the property, but you get the tax sale certificate. But if that person based on the state that you're in, some states are it could be 6 to 8 months. Some states it could be 3 years. But each year you get that percentage. So if it's 18%, you make 18% on what you invested in that tax sales certificate. And if they don't pay it within a time span, then you get the whole property. So you could get $100,000 property maybe for $4,000 worth in taxes that were owed. So we got another business in the box that teaches you that. But primarily, we got a Princeton University course that you could take that's free. That's added in there to teach you about cryptocurrency and the whole thing from its origination to where it stands right now. That's been taught by a couple of Princeton University professors. But primarily going all the way from levels 1 through 12. We got 3 stages, Stage 1 is 1 through 4. Stage 2 is 5 through 8, and stage 3 is 9 through 12. If you look at the way it's set up, it's a 4x4 force matrix. So if you come in, the ultimate goal is for you to bring in 4 other people. So when you bring those 4 people in, each one of those 4 is going to pay $10 forward to you. Now, what you're giving them is because you get access to the ebooks that are available. What they get for that $10 is an ebook, and then they also are brought into the network. They get their own site. They get their own replicated site, like what you see here on the screen, where you see Cryptoneer ICO services / red and blue. You'll get your own site as well for you to be able to pass out to your friends and family that to join underneath you. So when you bring in 4 people, they're going to pay $40 for you to move to level 2. You pay $20 to the second person directly above you, and as you move through it, that makes you eligible to receive. You'll receive 16 $20 payments. That makes you eligible to receive that, which is $320. You'll keep $280 in your pocket, and you'll pay $40 forward to the third person directly above you, which makes you eligible to receive 64 $40 payments, a total of $2,560. You'll keep $2,500. You'll pay $60 forward to the fourth person directly above you, which then makes you eligible to receive 256 $60 payments, a total of $13,380. You're going to keep $13,300, and you'll pay $80 and move to level 5, which is in stage 2. And at that point, starts all over. So the same group that you developed in stage 1, that same group will move with you to stage 2 and to stage 3. But once you get in, you'll get a chance to go to the site, take a look at the compensation. But the primary product is going to be everything that's dealing with this cryptocurrency space. There'll be ebooks that will be given to you, mastering Bitcoin, and then we even have one on how to really work the 4x4 force matrix. But when you take a look at the algorithm, the setup on the 4x4, at the end, just in a perfect case scenario, I'm not saying that that's something that anyone would achieve. We'd love for a whole lot of you to achieve it, because then we could really establish our goals. But if you make it all the way to level 12 and your whole crew came with you and you guys all cycled through, you could earn up to $3 million with a $10 investment. Now, outside of that, shoot for levels 1 through 4. Total in that levels 1 through 4, you could earn $18,080. Now, between now and actually started yesterday, the 18th through the 1st, we're doing a thing where when you come in and you go all the way to level 4, like I said, if you do a fast track, which would be you pay $10 on level 1, 20 on level 2, 40 on level 3, 60 on level 4. If you fast track all the way through, we will gift you 18,080 coins and 18,080 shares in the company. So the company right now is doing an ICO. We have a coin that's called Yorick coin. So our pre-ICO, like they're doing with the ICOs, they're doing pre-ICOs where they sell the coin at a discounted price. We're doing a private placement. An ICO is an initial coin offering. And basically what that is it's just like an IPO, but it's instead of you getting a security, you're getting a coin. And so over about $3.5 billion has been raised in the ICO space in the last 11 months. Probably it'll be about $4 billion before the year clears out. They've had them go as high as $280 million. But what we've noticed is now the regulators around the world are starting to circle the wagon. As soon as the SEC stepped up at the end of July and kind of made a statement about it, then other regulators around the world started stating that they were going to look closely at these ICOs. So now they're starting to pull some folks into court. So the best way to do it is to do it based on the regs that exist. So right now we're doing a private placement memorandum as our pre-ICO. we could take in 35 unaccredited investors. Everyone else has to be accredited. But we're going to do as the ICO, we're doing a Regulation A plus. So instead of you getting a coin first, you get a share with a coin attached to it. So in our Reg A and our ICO, we're giving stock and a coin. So we're going to use some of the funding that we raise to actually go to maybe 4 or 5 major crypto exchanges. So that coin will have an exchange that it'll trade on, and the shares that you have will be traded. Because the exit strategy from the Reg A, so that we could bring some added value to everyone, is that we plan to take our company public on the AIM exchange in London, which is really very fintech friendly. US is starting to come around, but since London and England is fintech friendly, especially this particular exchange, we're going to take our company and go public on that particular exchange, and the shares that everybody receives will be transferred over, and you'll get common shares in our company that will be a publicly traded company. And we're using this, actually we're creating a model. So this same model that's being created can be utilized by a number of y'all. We can show you and teach you how to do private placement memorandums. We can also show you and teach you how to do a Regulation A offering circular as well. Now, can every company go public? No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, but some of you guys can. Some of the ideals will be strong enough to put something behind it and put some ingenuity behind it, and it could be something that you could take public.
Right. So someone asked in the chat, how many shares do they get for a fast track?
18,080 shares and 18,080 coins. Now, when we do the Regulation A plus, until we get a thumbs up from the SEC doesn't say you can't do a Reg A. They just make sure all the documentation is correct. So as soon as they approve our documentation, then we'll start transferring coins to people, and also we'll use a transfer agent. So when you sign up under CryptoNair, make sure you put your correct address in. You know, you don't have to put your social security number in there. We just need a correct address, a correct email address, and a correct phone number, so that we send those, so that we have something that we can send the shares out to.
Okay. So what does the family do now that they're in the on the website? It is just signing up.
Okay. What you need to do also is when you sign up, you'll have access, but you won't be able to have access to your link until you pay the $10 forward to the Peels. So you guys may want to put the email address up that they would need to pay the $10 forward to. There's going to be a unique transaction number. I got to go back. Either you can pay using Google Pay, or you can pay using PayPal. But there's going to be a transaction number that needs to be put in there, so that yourself, and when you become a member, yes, you do PayPal. Someone just asked, do I do PayPal? Okay. Or you can do Google Pay. But that unique transaction allows the party that you're paying the ability to be able to go and cross-reference to make sure that there was an actual payment made, and then they can approve you. Once you're in, and you made that payment and you submit the unique transaction number, then you will be approved, and then you'll have access to your own link. Yes, if you got PayPal, yes, sir, you can do this in Canada. I'm sorry, yes, ma'am, it can be done in Canada. So if you once you sign up and you make that payment and you've been approved, then you have access to your own link, and then you can start sharing your link with your friends to sign up the same way that you signed up underneath the Peels.
All right. So let me put that information in there real quick.
Okay. Red and blue would be the sponsor name. Okay.
All right.
Right. So what will happen is there's going to be once they pay, there will be a transaction number that you guys will have access to, and then we can kind of work it out. We just need to cross-reference it.
Okay.
Brother asked about the Cash App.
I'm not really totally familiar with it. If it's a way to be able to pay an email address, yes, it can be utilized.
Yes, Jada. PayPal.
Yeah, I think
And
they
then
can.
once we're
I think they could probably pay with the Cash App too.
okay.
Yeah.
If there's, primarily, if it has a transaction number, that helps because it allows you to verify.
Right. Okay.
So what will happen is once they get in, we'll be able to go in and start approving them based on the fact that we could cross-reference with whether the payment came in. And then once that's done, once they're approved, then they can log into their own back office. So everybody that's signing up, make sure you write down your password and your username, and actually write it down in the way that you submitted it, so that you'll be able to log in at any point in time.
I saw a conversation.
Brothers,
Okay.
I'm sorry. The brother was asking what was the total for the fast track? What would that add up to?
Okay, it's going to be 130.
Okay.
I overheard a conversation earlier taking place, and it was on the nature of Bitcoin, or cryptocurrency for that matter. And the question was, is it a reserve currency or is it a usable one?
It's a usable one. I mean, because you can, well, the reserve currency is going to be something, in my opinion, is going to be controlled by a central government. The usable currency is something that could cross lines right now without any restrictions. So that's what Bitcoin really is. It's it's crossed. So it's almost like Christianity. They took it around the world, but this thing is moving a lot faster than that because it's in a digital paradigm. So it's a usable utility at this point in time versus it being a reserve. I think there might be some people that are trying to create reserve situations, but Bitcoin is kind of past that. It's usable, and it is, in my opinion, a commodity as well because it's software. Software can be sold, and anything that you sell or buy should be considered to be a commodity.
Right. Did you see the story that was trending yesterday about the brother supposedly sold $1 million in fake bitcoins? He was selling Chuck E. Cheese money. Did you see that story?
No, I didn't see that.
Look, he sold me one of the coins. He got me. I went and got a Chuck E. Cheese coin.
Well, it's going to happen. How many times have they sold the Brooklyn Bridge?
It was fake news. It was fake news. And, people were spreading it like it was a real deal. But
even the thing that they're talking about, hi, hello, my name is Mark. I'm the director of Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I know that's fake. First of all, the CEO of a corporation is not going to come talk to us. He got to make that announcement to the shareholders and the board of directors. So that's kind of a corporate lesson in 101 that he wouldn't even be addressing us at all, period.
Right.
If they do it, they're just going to do it. They ain't telling us they're going to do it. Going to say, okay, they're going to turn the switch on and say, y'all now going to be charged. So.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the nature of the internet, unfortunately, that bad news travels fast, and people already are looking for an excuse. So they're gonna run with these things, what I'm saying? And as well, like I said, the charlatans are already coming outside people are smelling blood. You know, the sharks are smelling blood, so they're circling the waters. What can somebody do to verify that something that they are investing in is the real deal, and they're not getting duped by these charlatans again?
I think you have to take a look at do your research, one, in terms of when we're talking about cryptocurrency. So if you're going to buy any cryptocurrency, you would want to go to Coinbase, or you want to go to one of the, do some research and say, okay, what's the oldest exchange that's been around? So you want to take a look at the top 2 or 3 exchanges that have been around for a while. So if you can't buy, if you don't go there and buy it, then I wouldn't buy it. And if you talk about an investment, if there's no transparency in that investment, meaning, okay, when we're talking about Reg A, we got to do a filing with the SEC. So you could go to the SEC's website and be able to see our filing. And if you can't really check things out from a standpoint of looking at the documentation and then being able to follow the trail of the documentation, then you may want to stay away from that particular investment. If you're going to buy any of these cryptocurrencies, you want to buy it on a notable exchange, an exchange that's been around for a minute, that hasn't been in depth, and one that has not been hacked. That's the other side, because we're still talking about software, and we're still talking about there are people out there that can break into anything. So Bitcoin itself has not been hacked. Now, some of the exchanges that have had wallets have been. To my knowledge, Coinbase is one that has not been hacked. So, I'm not just saying that's where you go, but I would say look for anything that has been around for a couple of years at least, and then you could buy your coins from there. No, that would be the best way to protect yourself.
Right.
Now, you're going to talk about buying some coins from somebody just because they said they got some Bitcoins, and they're going to talk about transferring it to your wallet. I wouldn't do it if that transaction was off the grid, because you're putting yourself at risk. Unless you know that person really well, don't buy them unless you can have it transferred to your wallet through an exchange.
Yeah. Family, yeah. I don't want to hear the sob stories in 4 or 5 months that you got had by you know who, because you wanted to spend some bread and they said that they were selling Bitcoins or something else. Do your homework.
Because I think, what's that? Craigslist is now accepting you can do Bitcoin transactions with Craigslist. So you better be careful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got it.
Yeah, they announced about a week or so ago that you can start doing cryptocurrency deals with Craigslist.
Somebody asked.
And also, you know what? Too. Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
They said elaborate.
Go ahead.
Elaborate on the use of exchange to purchase other altcoins. Coinbase, you can only purchase the big 3 or 4.
There are other exchanges out there that I don't really want to push, because what we don't really want to do is try to direct somebody to go make a purchase on something that we don't know totally about. So what I would say is I wouldn't stray away from the big 3, at this point in time, unless you know that you could transfer those coins to your wallet. And then if you're going to buy a substantial amount of coins from somebody, you may want to also get a physical wallet, something you can hold in your hand, like Trezor or Ledger. That way you can transfer those coins, when you need to do it, and they're not just sitting out there in cyberspace for someone to, some people don't like McAfee, but I kind of listen to him primarily because his thing is security. And one of the things he says is, a hacker isn't going to come and get you right away. It's going to watch your movements, So you can get in this thing pretty heavily, and a lot of those people who are out there who are talking about they're into crypto and they're buying this and they're buying that, kind of doing a lot of advertising, you know, for something that's sitting out there in cyberspace that you could lose, you know. And like one of the things he was saying is one day people are gonna wake up. There's gonna be 250,000 people that got hit all at one time because there's some hackers just sitting there. They're watching it. Their buying habits. The way that they move. You know. So if you put a substantial amount of money in, you may want to get you that handheld wallet to transfer those coins to. You know, so that you display it safe.
Okay. You know, once again, Red, if you can, could you drop that link in the chat? People are asking for it.
Because I think somebody put it in there and they had it incorrect.
Yeah, they had it incorrect. Then they're asking for the ID. If you brothers have any more,
it's going to be red and blue in all caps. It's going to be
all caps, red and blue. That's the sponsors. If you brothers have anything else that you need to touch on, now would be the time to let it be known. You know, I don't want to drag this on too long. A lot of information in a short amount of time, and that's good.
I'm typing it in right now.
All right.
Yeah, but if you got some grant writers, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
If you got some grant writers, man, we need to go to work.
Grant writers, holla.
Yeah, holla grant writers. I'm gonna see where the sister's at, you know, in her life at this particular point. Because when I was hollering at her, she was booked up. They requested all over the country, and they was paying her handsomely for her services. You know what I'm saying? I got introduced to a plug, and she sat with me, gave me some time, and you know, definitely poured the game into me. She gave me a envelope full of information. But
I mean, somebody like her, we could put it together and come up with what we need to come up with to pay her to write for us. You know, because it just will be so beneficial if you got a star that could do that.
Yeah, they out there though. They out there. You know, they might not be the grant writing queens, but there's grant writing princesses out there. So
definitely
grant writing empresses.
There's grant writing empresses and princesses out there. So, you know, holler at us, let it be known. So, you know, we could get to this social capital. And, you know, there's a bag in being conscious. There's a bag in doing positive things. There's a bag in, you know, bringing all sort of light to your community in the age of darkness. You feel me?
And I really like if
grabbing it.
Yeah, and I think that if we could do anything in this community in this juncture in time, it would be to help all of the social entrepreneurs who don't even know that this term exists. The brothers and sisters that are out there that are so talented and brilliant, and you know what I mean. Their hearts are filled with gold. They're in their communities. They're known in their communities. They're respected in their communities. They're looked up to, but they don't have the bag. They don't have the resources. They become disenchanted or disenfranchised movement and what it has to offer, and they wind up working for Monsanto or something. You know what I mean? They compromise who they are because they have to put food on the table. They're putting GMO food on the table because they can't put organic food on the table. So if we could do something to help them touch that grant money and to tap into the I'm talking about family, the billions of dollars that are on the table, especially for my sisters that are out there. They've allocated so much money to y'all. They've allocated so much money to at-risk youth. We just want to help. You know what I mean? But it's going to take a concerted effort. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to my sister Cheryl. Shout out to Garfield. You know what I mean? They're doing great works. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, you know, the grant writing and putting things together. But yeah, we really need to come together and form this think tank, or not just this think tank, this doing tank. Not just we could do
Yeah.
some thinking, but
Gotta
it's doing time.
You know, so for the family that's just joining us, we're joined by our brother Michael Singleton. You know, we are speaking about the pitfalls as well as the possibilities with cryptocurrency. You know, we're informing people what they need to look out for, as well as laying out the groundwork to Cryptonaire ICO.com and all of the potentiality that lies in the coin that our brother as well as ourselves are representing, that, you know, this company that we're members of, and we're allowing people to come in at a $10 entry level, okay, and utilize the 4x4 matrix system that we have utilized previously on other occasions,
Facts.
you know, to
Food on the table.
yeah, give people the initial investment capital that they need, you know, so like the brother said, so we can step as a collective into a situation where we can grab some things that's substantial. You know, I was watching a stream earlier. I also was watching another stream earlier by a brother that's in Costa Rica, and it was a nature boy, y'all. I said, oh, even. But this was a very highly respected brother. You know what I'm saying? He has a wonderful plan that they were discussing. And, you know, he's like, people are just talking about, once again, thinking like capitalists. I got to acquire the bag. I got to hold on to this money. I got to get this money and hold on to it. He's like, look, you know, what is your end game? What is your end goal? You know, in regards to where he was at, and what he was talking about was land, acquiring land and utilizing, you know, one side of the land, right? There's a mountain and there's wind that comes off of that. Well, that's power. You know what I'm saying? You can churn that power into fiat or Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or whatever, right? Naturally, you got water streaming. That's power. That's energy. You know what I'm saying? There's new ways. It's an entirely new paradigm. I was watching a video that Inky did with Keith Murray the other day. He was talking about the complete overhaul that needs to take place, the eco green overhaul that needs to take place in all industries. There's trillions of dollars that's going to be on the table because everything has to change because nothing is working. You know what I'm saying? And everything has, you know, everything is coming off of fossil. Everything is coming off of all these carcinogens. Everything is, you know, everything that they have put in place is not sustainable. They haven't put it in place to make sure that you're going to be healthy for the next. They did it for the bag. Same reason that you claim that you're doing it. You feel me? You know what I mean? So in order for things to be sustainable, in order for this new world, this new paradigm to come in, everything has to be redone and rebuilt. There's trillions of dollars that are going to be on the table. Everything has to be remodified, readjusted, and redone. That is exponential potential for you to secure a piece of the pie and be good for all of us. I just posted another article. They have a floating city coming in 2020. Wow. Peter Thiel put money in. Okay. Bill Gates is building, you know, the smart city in Arizona, 80 acres. Do you understand that Black Wall Street was just 40 acres? The same 40 acres that they say that you've been, you know, your ancestors are afforded post-slavery. You know what you could build on 40 acres? A goddamn city. Okay. Right. Black Wall Street was on 40 acres. So this floating city is only have 20 or 30 families, but it qualifies as a city though. We don't need.
Somebody posted
quick for my poor righteous teachers that are out there.
Hold on.
Hold
on. Okay.
Yeah, somebody posted. This seems like it's just another pyramid, and so I wanted to kind of address that.
Please.
When we start talking about a corporate structure or a hierarchy in a corporation, you got a board, and then you got a CEO. You're gonna have a president. You're gonna have vice presidents. You're gonna have managers, upper management, middle management, lower management, and then the employees, which are at the bottom. That's a pyramid. This whole system is set up in a pyramid structure. Now, so we could get this clear, a network marketing program is not a Ponzi scheme. Okay, a Ponzi scheme was what Bernie Madoff pulled off, where he played the game and everybody basically paid him money, and he used some of the money to try to pay somebody off. What we created here is a peer-to-peer payment system. So when you come in, the people are paying you. They don't pay a company to disperse the money to you. They're paying you. Okay. Secondly, if we do your history, one of the number one companies that created the most millionaires in the United States, and they got it from the program really got started from a sister, Madam C.J. Walker. Right. Started network marketing. But the number one company was Amway. They created more millionaires and gave people more the opportunity to actually establish some wealth than any entity here in the U.S. So if you work for a company, like brother just brought up, like a Monsanto, you are at the bottom of the pyramid, period. And there's some people up there making that decision, like the Koch brothers that y'all were talking about, that's implementing their Frankenstein approach to the world.
You work for any company in corporate America, you're working for a pyramid company. If you're paying taxes to this government, goddamn, you paying into a pyramid company. Even if you got a great job on Facebook, goddamn it, you work at a pyramid structured company. It goes like this. Mark Zuckerberg's at the top. You at the bottom, goddamn it. What are you talking about?
Right. So, we tend to always get that, but it's primarily because that's been something that's been ingrained in our folks to look for something to shoot a hole in something before it, so we didn't say this is going to cost you $500. We didn't say it was going to cost you $350, $150, even $100, $10, to get in. To come on, let's join hands and let's see what we could do. Let's make a run at this thing as a collective. Okay, what you got in it is $10. But if you want to fast track, the opportunity becomes greater for you. So that's really what this is all about, and now I didn't say that the person said Ponzi. I said that normally comes up, the Ponzi scheme thing. And because a lot of people will take those two and put them together, pyramid and Ponzi. They're not the same thing. That's the case that we could have said this whole system. It crashed in 2008 because of what took place. They kind of put them cards up there that wasn't glued together, and this whole thing kind of fell down. So when Obama came in, it was already delegated that he had to put that money out there and bail the banks back out so that we could at least live to see another day. So the whole thing has shifted right now. We've always been hearing over the last 10 years that they're going to change the money out. It's going to be a one world currency. Well, okay. It may be a digital currency that's going to transpire. But in all actuality, what we need to do is like what you talked about, create situations where you got like that energy they were talking about coming off the mountain. So imagine if you got a facility next to that and you're running out green energy and you got a quantum computer in there. How much money that could be made or could be generated to create some generational wealth. And the conversation that we're having, we could obtain one of those. If we got the bag, we could obtain a quantum computer. Or we may have some brothers out there that's listening in that got the ability to create one. So either way, that could happen. That's the way I see it. I think that we got enough brain power. If it was done one time, it could be done again.
Absolutely.
I just think this new generation that's coming up, they deserve to be heavily invested into technology-wise, not with history lessons, feel-goodisms and whatnot. They deserve the opportunity to be brought into institutions where the computers and everything is set up for them. The labs have to be built for them. They deserve that. That is their inalienable right for the adults, for these grown people who are running around blowing the bag on your Gucci snake collar shirts and whatnot, and all of this stupid stuff, the red bottoms. No, I'm just saying, we owe it to them. If a 2-year-old is programming your laptop, your damn tablet for you, If your 2-year-old knows how to work your iPhone X better than you, that should be able to tell you something. They're telling you something without telling you something, that they are digitally wired. We are analog. They are digital. What are we building for them to mine? We're not mining them. You talk about mining for Bitcoins. We need to mine our children for the Bitcoins that they have inside of them. They are the Bitcoin.
Because mid-February, you're going to come out that movie theater and you're going to be scrambling after you see the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to figure out your technological prowess because your ass going to want to live in Wakanda. All right? So you need to stop playing. All right?
Have y'all heard of graphene?
Graphene, yeah, the material.
Okay. Yeah, right. Well,
you can get you some 3D computers right now because they got 4D
okay, here we
out.
go. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Let's talk. A warehouse and throw them goddamn 3D computers up in there, 3D printers.
Yeah,
all right.
Let's talk then. Okay, let's talk about the graphene.
Yep.
Okay, well, one of the end games is, and Blue Alkaline Farms owns the coin. It owns your coin, and it owns the network marketing program. Now, the primary thing to that is what you're going to become a shareholder in is Blue Alkaline Farms, the company that owns the coin and the network marketing program. The end game is seeds, to put something in the ground to grow. So we know there was 2 things that came out probably over the last 5 years. Well, one, which is medicinal marijuana. Okay. Now there's a sister to medicinal marijuana, which is called hemp.
Facts.
The top graphene that has been developed in a lab comes from the cellulose portion of the hemp plant. So with graphene, they can make something 10 times stronger than steel, and it'll be transparent. So they can have transparent cars and transparent airplanes riding around here off of graphene. So one of our end games is to become an R&D spot and also a developer of graphene, so that we could become because that technology, along with 3D, you can start building glass houses per se. I mean, it's something that you put down on the ground that'll withstand category 5s that'll come in here. But that's one of the things that's considered not necessarily a total end result, but one of the things that we plan to get to from a farming standpoint when we grow that hemp. When hemp becomes legal across all state lines and we could transport the plant and the seed across state lines, our primary goal with this thing is to raise the capital so that we become a player when that happens, so that we can move swiftly and not have to try to grow it. So we're doing our fundraising right now for Blue Alkaline Farms, which basically one of the things we want to do is grow for the plant to be able to develop graphene out of it. That nanotechnology. That's basically what that is. When you talked about the kids, we want to have something for them to be able to go into the laboratory and come out and tell us what to do with it. That's the prime thing.
Where does Blue Alkaline Farms stand with the marijuana, the legal marijuana trade?
We have an opportunity to get into it, but we're kind of still on the fence about it, primarily because of the fact that we see hemp as being the greater opportunity of the two. The medicinal side is good, but there's so many players in that CBD arena right now. But when hemp becomes open, we want to be a seed supplier to the rest of the country in the hemp industry, and also to be able to, because you got 25,000 different usages for the hemp plant. So we want to be able to build some homes. We want to be able to build some technology that from the not the solar standpoint. That's another thing that you could utilize the graphene for, is to create solar panels and chips, to create some energy, So our focus has been on the industrial side. This thing is something that you could take and create situations that could be used every day. That's what we want to focus on, because if we got a number of different products that are utilized by people on an everyday basis, then we can always survive that way instead of just being a one-horse pony. We're not saying that the medicinal marijuana is just one horse, but they're not gonna let us grow thousands of acres of that shit. We could grow thousands of acres of hemp and not have no problems.
Okay. Indeed.
So, okay, let's do this. Let's leave them with the information one last time. And if you brothers have any closing remarks, let's get that in.
Okay. Again, just want to thank everyone for joining us. The brothers put their link out. It's Cryptonair ICO Services / red and blue in all caps. Red and blue basically is the name of the sponsor when you sign up. And please drop them the transaction number so that they can match it up to the payment. And then we'll move as quickly as possible to get you guys approved and get you your links. We do have let me leave this number. We have a call every Wednesday. It's a training call, and we have a back office training call every Saturday morning, but every Wednesday evening at 7:30 Central Time. If you'd like to join us, you can learn more about the company, more about where we're going, and what we plan to do to help benefit all of us that are involved. So I'm going to give you that number. Give me 1 second so I can get it for you. And we welcome everybody who even if you haven't joined us, we still welcome you to come and join us on that call. And if you have any questions, we're open to questions on a regular basis. And the calls are very, very informative, and we feel like we can educate you more about our company.
Mm-hmm. And for the family that's out there who may have, because we're network building right now, so there are different players in the field out there, and amongst our listening audience, you're connected to those people, and we are encouraging you to reach out to those people and build a bridge. You feel me? And let those people know what it is that we're doing, so we could build a bridge and we could begin to connect. So,
okay, that phone number is 515-739-1470, and the access code is going to be 276642. And those calls are every Wednesday evening at 7:30 Central Time. And we just welcome anyone to come out and join us on the call. If you can, just make us aware that you're a new caller, and we welcome you with open arms. And if you have any questions during the Q&A, please definitely ask those questions. I'm sure a lot of you will go away from this particular conference and have some questions, so you can call in on our Wednesday call and ask those questions. Once you sign up, we're going to have a training every Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Same call in and access number to train you on how to get around your back office.
Okay, I just put that in the chat.
Okay.
Put that in the chat room. Mm-hmm. 515.
Also, I think you guys had mentioned about I think it's Cheryl and Garfield. I think I forget what the other sister's name is. That they do some grant writing. So we probably need to get with them and collaborate on how we can take this whole social enterprise thing to the next level.
I would just want to repeat the number real quick. 515-739-14.
14. Hold on 1 second, brother. 1470.
Yes, and the access code is 276642.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. Wait, 1470 or 1570?
1470.
Okay. Wednesdays, 7:30 Central Time, family, not Eastern Standard like this, like Central. Okay. I appreciate it. No doubt. Family out there, please join us. I believe Friday we will be back on the live. 9 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m. We will inform you. Make sure you click like on the page so you could be informed and notified of every live that takes place and anything else that is going on news-wise that we choose to upload. And just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. We have more information, more teachers, more pertinent information to help everybody in their journey. And I wish everyone a happy holiday, whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, you know, or you just celebrating the solstice, whatever it is, you know, love and
Right.
light to you.
Or you just celebrating being alive. Like you just in your positive bag. You loving yourself, you loving your family, you loving this paradigm shift, you loving the opportunities that are set before you. You know, you're loving your health. You feel me? You just on love frequency. You on your Dr. Love, you on your brother or sister love. Like, you know, celebrate. You feel me? Like just enjoy yourself. Just embrace the opportunities to be here another day, you know, and see this paradigm shift in real time. You know, don't stand on the sidelines watching it. Get involved, like get in the water. You know what I'm saying? So I want to leave y'all. You know, we got some theme music I want to play. I went to this album listening the other day. Heat Rocks. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Cambada over Rich for an impressive, incredible project, The Holy Ghost. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
And yeah, we're gonna leave you with one of those tracks off of this project. You know what I mean? Other than
Go
that,
support that KambadaMusic.com.
KambadaMusic.com, you can cop that. You know, I don't know if he accept Bitcoins right now, but it's gonna be a day. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real soon where, you know, you're gonna be able to access all of this wonderfulness. You know, I'm gonna see if my album could be Bitcoin accessible. See if we set it off like that.
Well, somebody mentioned the conscious coin. Make it be a CC coin.
I mean,
we could put that into the whole music industry. We'll do that CC coin like they did like Master P did them CDs. Do the same thing.
You
We're
already
just
know.
gonna do it on the digital thing. You know, you gotta have that cell phone so you can see that transfer going to your wallet. There ain't a real deal.
It ain't a real deal. You know, I would do something else, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? We could get it done in real time. But yeah, family, this is off of The Holy Ghost, CambadaMusic.com. You can cop that. All right. In the meantime, in between time, peace, love, and light.
Peace, brothers.
You wanna see it? You wanna see it? Hey, yeah! Hey, yeah! Hey, ho! Hey, ho! Ho! Shit. My check. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. Hair clap, land better run. It's gon' bang like you hear Shaq Jam when he dunk. Who set the roof on fire? The dude with the two highlighters. Moon rider, shroom god rhymer. Rider, spit shit, my booth all diapers. Finna blow like a Newcon timer. Burn earth to neutron fibers. More before what you call Shriners. Booker T and you Scott Steiner. Kuta Kente son with a djembe drum. I been did what they said they done. I spread bread like Hansel and Gretel's crumbs. My 52 plot job make your sensei run. Since day one, fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. Last days clearly have come. The Messiah was born in American slums. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. They set the roof on fire. I blow the house down with the air in my lungs. I got two hands, you got two hands, but your two hands can't do what my two can. Big bills too can. Fly through you jam. Like true man. Sci-fi movement. Umar Johnstown. Inside my sultan. Robert set plot. Inside God's new land. You man who can do what our moon can. With one real long string and two you cans. You can. The super duper copper. Future mental moves the posture. Boosted chakra. Mutant monster. Quartz stone rocker. Fused with copper. Jewelry suits too proper. Bodhisattva. Buddha Bada. New big papa. Music commute to opera. I let freedom sing in red and blue ink in the pen dance with the bleeding feet. Geniusly. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. Last days clearly have come. The Messiah was born in American slum. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. They set the roof on fire. I blow the house down with the air in my lungs. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. Last days clearly have come. The Messiah was born in American slums. Fair black man with a gun. Fair black man with the sun. They set the roof on fire. I blow the house down with the air in my lungs.
Oh, it's my joint. One more, y'all. Let's get out of here. You gotta hear this though.
Got good with an extra O. Left some mama's best to know.
Those coins.
Mama told me eat my vegetables. Promise I'ma be the next to blow. 7 digits in a decimal. Got good with an extra O. Got good with an extra O. Got good with an extra O. You got good with an extra O. Got good with an extra O. Got good with an extra O. You hoes trying to give me X and O's. Hard colder than the Eskimos. Rapping trying to get my revenue. All I follow was a metronome. Me and God are identical. Squad deeper than expendables. Turn it into a festival. Proud heterosexual. Good wife, good life. Not boost like a foot fight. I'ma have the uni sneezing now. The sun tight. I'm what her Christ look like. I stable like a shook knight. Let the text show like a book light. See the world coming in my good sight. Hit the ground running, then I took flight. Got good with an extra O. Little something I was blessed to know. Mama told me eat my vegetables. Promise I'ma be the next to blow. 7 digits in the decimal. Got good with an extra O. 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 You got good, but she great to me. All the gifts that she gave to me, and hopefully she didn't waste on me. She took her time with creating me. I figured it out.
Come on, man. I heard enough for free.
Look, imagine this. A tour date. Imagine this. A tour date in front of 10 to 20,000 people. Right? Who are all like-minded. And we do what Mike talked about, what Garvey did. Right there on the spot. That's the future. But it's going to be the arts and the sciences that are going to get us where we have to go.
That's currency right there.
That's currency right there. Okay.
That's currency right there. You feel me? That's currency. We have the ability out of our minds to mine currency in real time, okay? And we could commodify our own currency, our own intellectual property. The ability now is the ability that this paradigm affords you is that you could commodify it with crypto. You dig what I'm saying? So think about all of our talented brothers and sisters. They got jerked. They got
cold crush.
mollywopped. You feel me? By the industry who seen them coming before they got there. They literally raped them and gave them pennies off a fiat dollar. You know, we ain't in it for the penny coins.
Yeah, 2 cents. We ain't in it for the penny, baby. They got 2 cents off a dollar.
Yeah, get your crypto.
No Bitcoin. They ain't paid none of these rappers in Bitcoin.
They ain't paying them in a bit of a Bitcoin. So that's what this new paradigm is about. We got the talent. We got the intellect. We got the scientists in our community. You know, KT got his power source. Like, it's exponential where this thing is going. You feel me?
Yeah.
Mama got the herbs.
Because
You know?
cryptocurrency is an intelligent currency. Think about it. The whole digital currency wave is not for the slow-minded. They are the ones, they leave them with the fiat. This is about, you know, this is tied into intellect. So let's not be smart. Let's not be smart dummies.
Yeah. So, you know, the brother, like you said, he got the hemp. That's the wave. Everything that we talking to you about is the wave. You feel me? But the wave has to come with a new premium. And that has to be a new way that we do business where we take the middleman out and we boss up. Everybody always want to talk about, you want to hashtag boss up and bossy and all that other shit all day. Here's the opportunity. Bossalina. You know what I'm saying? A Bossalini. Like, let's make it happen. I'm not going to hold you up. You feel me? Because bosses get proper rest time as well. You know? So I'm going to let y'all go on that. Peace, love, and light. You know? Go and cop that album. Hear the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a dynamic piece of work. It's a dynamic piece of art. You know what I'm saying? It's digital dopamine. All right?
All right.
That's it.
Love and light. Peace.
Peace, love, and light, y'all. Ah.